Island. Did you?
The Black Island, and they had 200 people and about 3,000 cows.
Wow.
More cows than people.
My fingers don't straighten. Look at that. It looks like a bumpy cucumber. Just prepare yourself to have Satan and all 10 of his mermaids pop up in front of your face.
Hey, podcast kittens, it's Cathy Cat.
And Ladybeard coming at you with another ear-wiggling installment of Cat with Beard. How are you, my friend? You well?
I'm great. Look at this. We're in the beard studio today.
We are in the beard cave. It's officially, if you need Ladybeard, you shine the beard signal, and then I'll exit the beard cave in the beardmobile.
In the beardmobile.
And I'll come and fight some crime or whatnot.
Oh my gosh, I need to check out the beardmobile. This is the wall I've been seeing on your YouTube channel. I can touch the wall now.
It's the wall. It's the actual wall. Yeah, it's like Taste the Rainbow. Touch the wall.
Behind us is that famous wall right now.
Really, really famous. There's a light switch over there you can turn on and off as well.
Live signings in here, all kinds of shenanigans.
It's a room is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's preposterous.
It's great to be here.
It's wonderful to have you here, sweetheart.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. So why don't you explain to people why we are here and not where we usually are?
Yes, welcome to season 2 of the Cat with Beard podcast.
2.
Yes, if you did, for whatever reason, missed the last episode of season 1, our director is now currently in the UK.
That's right.
So
he abandoned us.
How dare he? But we can make it happen.
Well, we can. That's right. We've been left. Mum and Dad have gone away on vacation
to
and
the
now
UK to get a master's degree.
The kids are now running the institution.
Wild.
We gotta go pick up the milk. We gotta pick up the newspaper when it gets delivered in the morning. Pay a power bill every now and again, and also run the podcast. So this is what's going on.
Let's do that. Run the podcast.
This is out of control. So welcome to season 2. Thank you all for tuning in. It's wonderful to see you. If you are new here, this is Cathy Cat.
My name's Cathy Cat.
I am Ladybeard.
That's Ladybeard.
We host the Cat with Beard podcast. Which is what you're currently listening to, all things about Japan.
All things about Japan in the most frilliest and most exciting wrap-up. I think we're probably the most colorful podcast of Japan.
Oh, the most powerful codcast of all of them, I reckon. I said the most powerful codcast.
With all the fish. No fish in this one. Even though we have some fish in the topic today.
My goodness, we got some amazing fish.
We have some amazing fish. All the fish is in this podcast. But it's not being fishy.
But before we get to that, how are you, my friend?
I'm great. I had the recent trip to Okinawa.
Yes, congratulations.
Which fits perfectly with today's topic. What have you been doing recently?
I went to Mexico.
Hola, ¿qué pasa?
Me and my group, Baby Beard, we performed at an anime convention, a big old anime convention in Mexico called La Mole. Lots and lots of fun.
Ooh.
Just got back. You can hear my voice is a little bit frazzled.
Oh, from shouting and talking with all those people.
Yeah, it was a big old schedule. There was a lot of fans to talk to, and then it was kind of we got through the work and then we're hauled off straight to the airport and onto the plane.
Wow.
So yeah, the old throat is a little bit worse for wear, but we'll figure it out.
All right. We can manage this. So today we'd like to teach you more about Okinawa because if you want to come to Japan, Okinawa is actually a very popular travel destination, not just for travelers from other places. That sounded a bit weird. Travelers from other places, but also Japanese people love traveling to Okinawa.
It's very interesting, right? Because if you tell a Japanese person ever on the mainland you're going to Okinawa, they go, "Oh, Okinawa! Oh!" They seem to be like, "Oh, you're rich. You're going to Okinawa."
Oh.
Which I find it very interesting. People from the mainland seem to kind of go to Hawaii or Guam more than they go to Okinawa itself.
Even though I heard so many people say Okinawa is like Japan's Hawaii. It's tropical, it's beautiful, we have coral beaches there.
You don't need a passport to go there?
Yeah,
it's part of the country?
Wonderful. It's like tropical island paradise of Japan. And the wonderful thing is because Japan is so wide stretched, you get everything. You get the coldness up in Hokkaido and you get all the tropical goodness down in Hokkaido.
Isn't that interesting?
And in Okinawa.
It's like a trip from Alaska through to Texas, isn't it? I guess if you look at it on the map, like in the terms of the, what's it called? That one, the horizontal one's the latitude. The longitude, it probably stretches, a similar distance, really, the whole thing.
It's just like, it's the wideness I think it covers makes Japan so special. And we love so much about it. So, Okinawa, have you ever been?
I have been only once.
Which area did you go to?
Mainly Naha, I think. So just Naha's named the main town on Okinawa. I was there on my first ever Japan tour to play a show, which was great. Play shows.
In Naha. Naha is a popular travel destination. I this time went to one of the other smaller islands, and that one was called Ishigaki Island. And my hint for all of you thinking of traveling to Okinawa, from Narita Airport to Ishigaki Island is a direct flight, and it's cheap because there's a cheap airline. We're not sponsored by it, but they're called Peach, like the fruit.
Oh, right,
and it was super cheap to get there, so either you decide to fly to Naha, which is also great, but I enjoyed going all the way down to Ishigaki on a budget airline.
Well, show me on this map where Ishigaki is. It's down the bottom somewhere.
Ishigaki is down the bottom. You're like pretty much at the bottom of the map.
Oh, this character here.
Yeah, this little one
All right, so
here.
it's a big island then. It's not one of these tiny little zip islands. It's a giant one.
Yeah, it's still a bit bigger than some of them. If you actually think, like Okinawa consists of about 160 small islands.
It's a lot of islands, isn't it?
It's a lot of islands.
I imagine some of them are probably like just a rock sticking out of the water that they called an island.
That as well. I mean, the 90% of the entire population lives on the Okinawa main island, so the one that everyone knows in Naha. But the rest, 10%, are split around the islands. So, for example, I went to Ishigaki Island, and from Ishigaki Island, there's a lot of little boats that take you to the tiny islands. And on the tiny islands, for example, I went to one which was called Kuroshima, the Black Island. And on the Black Island, they had a lot of black cows.
Oh, right.
Maybe that's where the name comes from. I didn't quite ask. I might have to ask. And they had about 200 people and about 3,000 cows.
Really?
So
wow.
more cows than people.
That's like going to New Zealand where there are disproportionately large numbers of sheep compared with humans.
Yep, they're very proud of their cows. They have a lot of cow things in that area, so there are lots of symbols of cows and lots of bull statues around.
Do they eat beef in great magnitude?
There is also beef, and obviously all the dishes connected with beef, which we will also be talking about in a bit.
Right, okay, cool. So you went down, and hang on now. Now, just let me ask a question now. So the sand on the Black Island, did you...
Just make myself a little bit smaller.
The interlude. So is it called Black Island? Is the sand on the beach? Is it volcanic sand? Is it grey or is it black or anything?
In Okinawa, why the beaches are so wonderful, pale and white, is because the Okinawan beaches are generally made out of corals. That's what makes them so special, and that's why you actually need also some shoes in those southern islands, because the corals you can, they're quite harsh.
Oh, really?
So there is nice beachy sand where you could walk bare feet, but a lot of corals are there, and they're not as soft as you would like them to be. Yes.
Coral sand? Who would have thought? Really?
Yeah. So they break down more and more. In the end, they turn into that kind of sand underneath. Yes. But what also Ishigaki Island has, and is one of the few islands left, where you actually have star-shaped sand.
Star-shaped sand?
Star-shaped sand. It's one of the, I find it's like a small tiny miracle, but they actually will sell it also bottled up and such.
Really?
You are probably not allowed to collect that one anymore because it's so rare in the world. There's only a few places that have star-shaped sand.
Really? Star-shaped sand? I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, I think I have some. I'll bring some in next time.
All right, thanks. I'd love to see it.
Star-shaped sand. So that's one of the magical things. So the ocean is really aquamarine blue in that area, and if you're lucky to snorkel a little bit, you see very tropical fish. Some of them are bright blue.
Really?
Yeah, that's the wonderful. If you can snorkel a little bit around Okinawa, I can highly recommend you to snorkel a little bit.
I imagine it'd be a freak show under the water down there.
It's beautiful. It's actually quite fascinating. And a lot of people I spoke with when I went there were they decided to move there because they love water sports.
Really?
So water sports is kind of what motivated them to do the move and move there. There was Japanese people who just decided, okay, I actually live somewhere where it's cold, but I'm going to move to Okinawa for a couple of years and snorkel for a couple of years.
Sounds lovely.
So since Okinawa is so far, it's for example, Ishigaki Island is further away from mainland Japan. It's actually closer to Taiwan.
Oh, yeah, right, I see.
So it's tropically also very different.
Yes, of course. Yeah, the climate, it's real close to the equator, isn't it? So it's all tropical.
Very,
sunshine
very tropical.
And rain, yeah.
There's a lot of also unique religion, culture, customs, dialect, cuisine that you can kind of only get in Okinawa. That's why we get in Tokyo so many Okinawan fairs. I think you've probably seen a lot of those around in Tokyo.
Yeah, you see them around. You see those dragon thingamajigs, the Okinawan dragon thingamajig. The dragon thingamajig with the curly hoo-has and the moustache. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not quite sure, but generally I see a lot of hibiscus flowers.
All right.
It's probably not
you
a dragon.
You and I are noticing totally different things about Okinawa.
I noticed the flowers, you noticed the dragons. It's very characteristic.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of Oki stuff. Because of Okinawa's location, located in between several different countries, it meant that traditionally it was like a trading kind of a place. And so all these people from different countries would show up there and they'd be trading and whatnot. And Okinawa is therefore a mishmash of all the surrounding cultures. Japan and China and the Philippines and everyone else in the neighborhood too.
And you probably have heard this before. It's also the birthplace of
karate. That's right. Of karate. That's right. Okinawan karate is from Okinawa, as the name might suggest. Yeah. Say that again.
Sorry, that was
go
me
on,
just
do it
being
again.
silly.
No, go on. Huja!
Oh.
That's Cathy Cat's karate noise.
Sorry.
Huja!
Sorry.
It sounds to me like a set of Middle Eastern pajamas or something. The old huja. I stick on my huja so I can get a good rest.
Oh no, I can't think of any karate terms right now.
Hi, have a
They!
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's right, so karate originated in Okinawa.
They also have their own dialect in
do.
Okinawa.
It's vastly different from Japanese.
Very different. Apparently, some people speak it so strongly that even Japanese people have trouble picking up the dialect.
Right, really.
So if you really go out to the islands, maybe you'll not be able to understand them that well.
But Japanese is the official language of the islands still. Yeah, it's not like the dialect.
It is the official language.
So everyone would learn Japanese in school. It's just that at home they're speaking Okinawan, yeah? Speaking the dialect.
The dialect is called Uchinaguchi.
Uchinaguchi, okay?
Uchinaguchi. And the one I remember the most is Haisai.
Okay.
Which is like hello
in
it, but I think girls actually say it differently. They say hi tai.
Okay. Hi sai and hi tai. Right.
Hi sai. So you would say
hi tai.
And I would say hi tai.
You know.
As well.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's the konnichiwa of them.
What other Okinawan have you got to teach us?
Mensore.
Mensore?
It's like irashaimase.
Alright.
So welcome into the store.
Oh, really? Mensore? Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm butchering this. All Japanese people listening to this, feel free to correct my terrible pronunciation in the YouTube comments.
Feel free to for free to impart endless criticism upon Cathy Cat and Ladybeard.
Sorry. There's also Akisamiyo. But I'm not sure how you would pronounce that going up or down. That means like, oh, I'm surprised. Bikurishita, you surprised me.
Okay.
Akisamiyo! I don't know how to say that properly.
That sounds like Korean, doesn't it? Akisamiyo!
Oh, sorry, I probably butchered that. And there's Nankurenaisa.
Nankurenaisa! What's
that one I've heard before. It's like, something's going to work out.
Oh, I'm going to start saying these Okinawa words as part of my daily conversation, I reckon.
I actually learned one. One which is also called Maruma-san.
All right.
So Maruma-san.
Okay.
That means it's tasty.
It's tasty.
Yeah, so Maruma-san. And then with san, you lift those 3 fingers up.
I don't really understand how the gesture is associated with food on any level.
I have no idea, but like there's a YouTuber called Hideo-man-san, and he's like local to Ishigaki, and his job is literally to promote Ishigaki Island. Right. And he worked at the ferry terminal.
Oh, wow,
and sold tickets, like that kind of like humbleness as well. Just like random people will come, he sell a ticket to the thing, and then he explained them. He has his own t-shirt collection in the back. He's got his own food collaborations.
That sounds awesome.
He showed me like Maruma-san, so that's kind of like a apparently very local thing to say that something's tasty.
Really?
Yes.
So that's not his unique individual YouTube.
He said it's a local thing. Like if I told this to some of the island locals, they would be like, "Oh, why do you know that?" Kind of.
Well, let's start busting that out in daily conversation there. Maruma-san. And that means when something's tasty, you bust that out.
Yeah,
my fingers don't straight. Look at that. That's as far as they go. Yours are straighter than mine. My fingers are bollocks. Like,
just from all the fighting here.
No, I think it's just for being the worst. Anyway.
I personally didn't have any problems communicating with people though. No? Most of them will speak main Japanese. When I went to the tiny island, it still worked out. So
at the tiny island, now it's this tiny island, it's 200 people living on this island.
Yeah, no foreigners. I did ask. Not a single foreigner living there, and everyone knows each other.
And I'm sure they do. Mm-hmm. And so how tiny are we talking? Can you walk the island completely?
You can cycle around it easily in a couple of hours, half a day.
And 200 people. So what kind of demographic are we talking? Are they all old or are they babies?
Oh, I didn't ask that when I was there.
What did you see?
I saw they had a little aquarium, which also like a marine kind of research facility, which was nice. And they had a really nice place where they sold food. We were going to talk about that food.
Great.
And where we were there was also a elementary school girl who's also a dancer, and she's like the island's little dancer, and she goes to competition, and she's 8 years old and already winning lots of prizes. So it was a wonderful kind of everyone loves everyone supports everyone kind of environment.
Do they have schools and hospitals and whatnot on the island, or do they have to go to a different island for those facilities?
I assume for that one I went to, I didn't see a hospital on the map that was given to me. The island looks a bit like a hut. Okay. So I assume that they will usually use the boat, but on the day, only I think 3 to 6 different boats go, so not that many go. So you have to kind of time that with your shopping.
It would be a challenging lifestyle when the typhoon shows up, wouldn't it?
Yes, there's a lot of typhoons in Okinawa, and that's why I asked why some of the buildings are quite flat, so they're not so tall on the islands, and they have like these wonderful, beautiful, baked red golden roofs. Like, they're just so pretty. And those roofs are also in the way like very flat. And I asked why that is, and apparently it's because of typhoons to not give them anything to hold on as such.
When I lived in Hong Kong, if you were going to the outlying islands in Hong Kong, the only way to get there is on a boat. And so when the typhoon showed up, of course, the boat schedule got all rearranged because of the typhoons. So if you want to go to or from an island, you had to, the last boat before they shut it down would always be packed, of course, because people trying to either get to the island or off the island. And then for the duration of the typhoon, no boat, you're stuck there. Whatever's there or not there, that's what you're stuck with or without.
It's a very different lifestyle. Really? I find like just being there just as well. A lot of Japanese people say that the Okinawan lifestyle is also way more relaxed. It has that tropical relaxedness of like, nankure naisa. Somebody's gonna work out, that kind of thing.
Sounds chill. Let's talk about a little bit of the old cuisine from Okinawa.
Food culture.
Because if you're a tropical island, of course, you're gonna have vastly different plants and whatnot growing from up north.
It's a very different climate. So we have actually very different tropical fruits and similar things like that. So the most known one is a bitter gourd.
Goya.
Goya.
It's known in Japanese.
Yeah.
I have a lot of feelings about Goya. I have a lot of negative emotions.
It's very
revolving around Goya.
Bitter. It's bitter. It's bitter than.
It tastes horrendous, ladies and gentlemen. Goya is a satanic fruit. Everyone be careful when you come to Japan with the Goya. It looks like a bumpy cucumber. If you put this thing into your taste buds, just prepare yourself to have Satan and all 10 of his mermaids pop up in front of your face and poke you with their laughing sticks.
It is bigger than a Japanese cucumber, smaller than a German cucumber, and it has, I don't know, almost thorns, the kind of things that poke out of it. It is very bitter, and actually I was asking why people eat it. Apparently in summer it helps you to overcome the fatigue, the heat fatigue. So that's actually apparently a fruit that's good to have.
That's interesting.
But you really have to get used to the taste at first.
Yeah,
it's just very bitter.
If you cook it up, it softens it a bit, and that's a bit easier to deal with. Like when they stick in the eggs. What's it called when they stick it in the eggs?
Would they stick the thing in the eggs?
The Goya and the eggs. The Goya eggs snigamajig. We got a picture of it right here.
Goya eggs snigamajig?
Goya chamburu!
Chamburu. I'm not sure about the egg. I know that they fry it up with, is that egg? Okay, they fried up with egg. They fried up. What I like it when they fried up with spam.
Spam,
that like thing out of the tin that's from the US. That kind of like that sweetness and that over saltiness from the meat takes that a little bit away from this.
Much nicer if you cook it and you put it in a dish. That's the way I recommend you deal with it. Don't just pick it up from the supermarket and bite it. That'll end badly.
Oh no, don't do that. I don't think you should do that at all.
Don't eat like an apple.
They also have shikwaza, which is like a zesty, lemony kind of drink. Pineapple, mango, banana. I saw a lot of bananas there, dragon fruits, and also a lot of sugarcane.
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 That's interesting, really.
Yes, they have a lot of sugarcane fields everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, it's kokuto is the Japanese word for it, and if you go to a tapioca place, even in Tokyo, it will sometimes say kokuto tapioca milk tea, meaning that type of sugar. Tapioca milk tea.
Sugoi na. Really?
Yeah, it's like...
Does it have a distinctive taste as opposed to everyone else's sugar?
It is a little bit different from refined cane sugar. It looks brown as well, and it's a bit more natural, I guess, in that way. And it has that kind of almost umami aftertaste, and it is used in a lot of the dishes of Okinawan culture as well. So some meat is simmered in that kokuto heavy sugarcane sugar as well.
Okay. Sounds very nice. What else we got? What's some other plants we got going on in Okinawa?
Other plants, I think those were, but I mean mango, if you come during mango season, have some of their mango. It's the best mango I ever had in my entire life.
Oh, really great mango.
I kid you not, it's so good. Oh my God.
Oh, good.
By the end of summer, mango is almost over, so you want to get there a little bit earlier. But there's a lot of fruit stands as well that just have tropical fruits. Don't miss out on those. Go there. Some of them are like literally pureed frozen fruits, and it's just so good and like so sweet, and they don't even add sugar to it because it's just mwah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Island Mango really is nice. Hang on, so you reckon you want to go before, around the start of summer? That's the time to go?
The mango season was over by the time I went, but I went like in late September.
Okay, nice.
So mango season, they had a lot of frozen mango stand that they would put into slushies, which was also very, very good.
We have okura from Okinawa as well.
Okura, yeah.
It's this slimy little star vegetable with a bunch of little pips that you have to, like, you pop it between your teeth and they're like, in your mouth, like that.
Okura, I think I could see in the UK. I've seen it in the UK before, so some of you guys might even have some okura in your supermarket.
Are you anti-okura?
I tried to eat it many times, and I will still eat it if it's served to me, but I would not go out of my way to get it because all the foods that are slightly slimy, all the Japanese slimy foods, are kind of setting off my stomach.
Really?
Yeah, so I can't have too many of those.
Sensitive stomach. The wax gourd! We have the wax gourd!
Never had the wax gourd.
Hey, don't get bored!
Buy the wax gourd.
Your wax gourd!
Ooh, gourd!
Grandpa snored!
That was a god wonderful joke.
Oh, jokes in a hoard!
Ooh.
This is amazing. We've got the wax gourd, delicious Okinawan fruit.
Yeah, we also have the guruku, which is a tropical fish.
Oh, the fish. We're moving over to the fish? We've got the rakyo as well, this spring onion looking thing of a jig.
Rakyo! That one you also get a lot. And also a mozuku, which is like a kind of seaweed.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a vinegary seaweed. It doesn't look good, but it tastes very okay. It's like a vinegar. You sometimes get it as a starter in Okinawa.
Well, it's what's on the inside that counts, isn't it? So that's quite lovely.
That one's a good one.
Yeah. Let's move on to the fish, the exotic fish of
the exotic
Okinawa.
fish. I once went to an Okinawan fish market and they literally were auctioning off fish in like bright red, bright blue. It's very colorful. So you're gonna find some very interesting fish there.
It's like the film Avatar. Everything looks like it's an Avatar. Eh?
Yeah, it's very, very, very colorful.
Really?
Very tasty as well. Very, very tasty.
So we got, what's this bad boy? We got the old Guragun.
Guragun. That one I heard. That's like generally I think simmered as well, but then you can prepare it how you want.
All right.
I must say I didn't actually eat any of the fish this time around.
Really?
Because I was focusing on the other tasty things which we're going to be talking about.
Oh, okay, very good. All right, fair enough. I don't want to.
First of all, soki soba. Have you ever had soki soba?
Maybe, I don't know.
Soki soba is like the Okinawan version of ramen.
Okay.
So it's a noodle broth soup. It is served hot, even though it's a very hot climate. So in there, they have pork bones that have simmered so long that they got so soft that even the cartilage becomes soft as if it was fat. A lot of people think it's fat, but it's actually the cartilage has like simmered for such a long time that it's all sweet and salty and soft, and it just falls off the bone, and it's so enjoyable.
Hang on, it is bone though, so bone falls off the bone?
No, like the meat falls off the bone because everything's so soft. It's literally everything is super soft.
So you're not eating the bone itself, you're eating the meat around the bone.
No, you eat the cartilage of it, that bone part. It becomes even that becomes soft, so you can eat it.
Okay.
It's actually a shame if you leave it. Apparently, it's full of collagen.
Collagen. It'd be great for your skin.
Full of collagen.
Collagen.
So it's like spare ribs, very long for a long time, soft simmered spare ribs. Again, lots of the Okinawan dishes are quite salty, so the meat is very salty, but the soup might not be as salty as some of the soups you might have in Tokyo. And then they have a certain type of noodle with it. So it's not real soba. It's more like wheat flour noodles. They're kind of thick. They're a little bit harder. And the combination with that and that chunk of meat on top makes the perfect soki soba.
All right, that sounds delicious.
It's very good.
What else you got?
The next one is rafute.
Rafute?
So that's like, again, slowly simmered pork belly.
Okay. Oh, the belly. Oh, okay.
Yeah, pork belly. And they have this type of alcohol, which is called awamori.
Okay.
So that's a distilled alcoholic beverage that sometimes even, that's very known for that. Not that Aomori in the prefecture, Awamori.
Awamori, okay.
And they also have sometimes sweet alcohol, habushu.
Habushu?
Which is a type of alcohol in which they put a poisonous snake.
What? Hang on just a second now. They put poison in the alcohol and then that poison goes in your mouth.
No,
Please
just the poisonous snake goes in the alcohol, but the poison gets taken out of the snake before, I think.
Wait. So they pull the poison out of the snake. Okay. I don't want to sound critical, but surely there would be a different choice of object that could be put in because this one risks death.
I guess in the old days, people thought it was going to be a medicine.
Okay.
Putting that in. So you know how a lot of things that kind of things being toxic and things being medicine is always very close together in a lot of places.
Like mold, like penicillin.
Yeah, penicillin. And was coming back though to rafte. So the pork belly has been simmered for a long time. Again, it gets really soft and it's in soy sauce and broth and sugar. Okay. And again, a lot of times that sugar is the sugar cane friend.
It's the sugar cane. All right.
Yum,
cool.
yum.
Delicious.
I'm just drooling.
What else do you got for us, Cathy Cat, on our Okinawan cuisine?
I was mentioning earlier that we're going to talk about beef.
Yeah.
And there are actually a lot of Wagyu level type beef. So high class, expensive Japanese beef.
Really?
That's again why there are so many dark or black colored cows on the island.
Okay.
I could only see black cows.
Okay.
Some cows are semi-wild, so they kind of belong to someone. But on the island where I was, they kind of live in the forest, and then the main cow, when they think it's cool enough around 2 p.m., they're like, moo! And then they walk towards the water, have a little bath in the sea, and then they walk back into the forest.
This main cow has a lot of power.
Yeah.
Hang on. When it's cool at 2 p.m., wouldn't that be the hottest part of the day?
Yeah, apparently. Or maybe that's why they're coming down at 2, because they're like, it's too hot.
Okay, we're knackered now. Let's bathe. And then we go back to the forest.
Go back to the forest.
Hang on. Does the colour of a cow affect the meat in some way? Make it taste a particular way?
I wish I knew that. If you know that, comment that below on YouTube.
Comment on our clickamajigs. The coloured cows taste different from non-coloured cows. They all have a colour of some kind.
Yes.
Every child has a beautiful name. A colourful cow. A colourful cow. There's brown, there's black, there's white and black.
I think also what affects it a lot in Japan is a lot of cows get massages and treatment and special food.
Yeah, they make some of them drunk. The Wagyu cows, they feed them alcohol.
Some of them have a couple of drinks and a good night out.
All day long.
Some of them, at least with those ones, they sometimes eat things from the sea.
Okay.
So which means the meat quality is going to be a little bit different because they're used to that as well.
Well, it's a fish-eating cow. It's remarkable.
Don't know what they eat, but apparently they snack on some things if they happen to be in front of their snouts.
All right.
Is that a snout? I don't know. Yes, now the final of the dishes is jimami tofu.
Jimami tofu?
Jimami tofu. So it's like a peanut kind of dish. That's kind of like tofu and peanuts. I'm not quite sure. I didn't touch it because I am allergic to peanuts, highly allergic to peanuts. So I can't give you any more information about the flavor.
All right. Well, I better try out one of these so I can tell the people about it next time, the jimami tofu.
Yeah, so I think I drooled over the place as much as possible.
That's very nice.
Personally, I've been to Naha, I've been to Ishigaki Island, and I've been to Miyakojima Island. Okay. Miyakojima Island is not as much explored. Ishigaki Island also is not as much explored. And then Naha is like the busy hub where everyone
Naha
is
the city, yeah.
That's the city, that's the hub, that's where all the brands are. So for example, they have Blue Seal ice cream, which is like a certain type of Okinawan ice cream. They sell Chinsco cookies there.
Tinskull?
Chinsco.
Okay.
They're like sweet sugar cookies. I think I brought some with me here so I can show those.
Okay. Oh, well, let's show the people.
Exactly. Right. And it also has the Ishigaki Island on it. Thank you. So this one here.
Hey.
They look I think the consistency is a little bit like shortbread.
Okay, lovely.
And they have like in there different flavors. Generally they have the plain one, which is this like a vanilla salt flavor, because again you have to always replenish your salts. Then they have a certain type of imo, like a certain type of potato. So it's like a dark purple
sweet
potato.
Yeah, the purple yam thingamajig.
Genau, exactly. So that was German. Genau. And then we have again kokuto, which is the sugar.
Oh, okay.
So these ones are like, you can also see the island on it. So this is like a typical gift to bring when you come to Okinawa, when you have been to Okinawa, to show to people and say, look, I've been to Okinawa, take this.
Very impressive.
So don't forget to bring the gifties back.
That's lovely. Thank you for bringing this gifties back. It's very kind of you.
Oh, of course. Let's bring a little bit of Okinawa into our podcast today.
Just before we leave as well, let's just mention these ridiculously exotic fish. This thing where they, Hidabuta.
It's a bright blue fish.
The hawk-faced fish or something along those lines. The hawk-beaked fish. This blue fisherman-jig.
Woo!
It came straight out of the water.
Escaped Avatar.
Bright blue. And then we have the one that really looks like the Avatar, which is conveniently called the Abasar. Sounds exactly like Avatar. It's like a blowfish. They call it the echidna fish. It's a spiky old fish. Like a blowfish, but seems like smaller and with these weird tweezers sticking out the front of it. This thingamajig, man.
If you're actually coming to Okinawa, just be careful. The later you go to summer, the jellyfish will be out.
Oh, the jellyfish.
And there's a couple of, when I was walking, there was a clam that apparently also can attack you with poison.
Really?
You just be careful that you don't step into that. Always wear your beach shoes if you can.
The sea is a dangerous place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
Nothing's really there to hug you.
We used to get stung by jellyfish at the beach when we were kids.
Terrible stuff.
Yeah.
Not pleasant, not pleasant.
Jellyfish, undertows, sharks. There's all kinds of things in the water that'll kill you.
Yeah, I mean, you come from the country where pretty much everything is out to kill you.
Most things kill you.
Even the spiders.
It's good.
But apart from that, if you want to go where the hub is, go to Naha.
Go to Naha.
If you want to go a little bit out of where the hub is, Ishigakijima is very easy to reach. Miyakojima is a little bit harder to reach because I think you have to change somewhere to make it over to that island.
But yeah, you got like 400 islands to choose from.
There's many more islands you can go to.
Islands you can have a crack at Okinawa, and you can do some karate training while you're down there.
Exactly.
So, yeah, happy days.
That's it for today.
Well, thank you all very much for tuning into episode 1 of season 2 of
episode of 1 of season 2. Now you know all about Okinawa and how to travel there.
If you have things that you'd like to hear us talk about on the podcast, you have topics you'd like us to cover, please write a comment in the old YouTube comment box. Please send us an X on the old X. That's what they now call Twitter because it's inconvenient. Please send us a message on one of those, maybe her social media, me social media. Reach out to us somehow. Tell us what you'd like to hear about on Cat with Beard, and we will see if we can accommodate your request.
Exactly. So now you know how to get to Okinawa. Yep. Okinawa is awesome, great place. You should definitely check it out.
And I guess see you all next time and again. That was the worst outro ever. That was the worst outro in history. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's try that again.
I'm looking at Cat. Sounds that aren't words exit my face. No.
Oh, wow. Ja, genau. Ja, sehr gut.
Thank you very much for tuning into this episode of the podcast. We'll see you again next time on
Cat with Beard.
Genau.
Hi,